Okay. Wonderful.
What? This is not
I
YouTube.
just
This
I
is like a
don't see like
recording. This is how I'm recording my conversations now, Lord. This is what this is.
oh,
So,
all right. All right.
what?
All right. So we
Okay,
need to
well, we
come
were
up with a location.
talking at this point, and the reason we're coming together, this is Studio 24/8 Radio, hosted by yours truly, myself. And we're talking to, yeah, we're talking to Lark, and we're talking to Mr. Redburn again, one of my comrades, or two of my comrades, and we're just talking about what we're strategizing on. Yeah, so we need to come up with a location. So what do you mean? Well, first all right, I get not typing up a note, President. So she gone.
Mm-hmm.
What,
You
Reggie?
might got started again. I'm
I
here.
guess she don't want to participate after she seen how I'm going. I don't know. But she
Yeah,
gone.
I think she just thought it was a
So
conference call where we was going to talk about. I guess she just thought it was a conference
oh,
call
is
and
she
we
coming
was
back
just
now? Now
going to
it's
talk
coming back as a
about.
woman. Hold on. She coming back as a woman. She didn't change the name. Look, okay, we having a conversation with a woman.
I don't know what happened. She dropped off again.
What
Now,
was I gonna
yeah, we
say?
just started talking, Reggie. Come on, man.
Oh, I thought this was a
Oh,
meeting
okay,
on
Lark.
how we're gonna do the video.
Thank you for entertaining me this evening, woman.
That's not director of the homeless agency.
Right. This is
Hello,
what
how
this
are
is about.
you?
What I want to do, I wanted us all to have the same idea first. And so since I shared my idea with both of you all, I want to make sure you all understand, have the same idea what we're talking about. That's all.
Okay.
Lark,
Well, hello.
Lark.
Yeah. So yes.
So can you give Reggie the general idea of the storyboard? Okay.
Um. Ah, shit. Sorry. My kids and these cats. All right. Hold on one second. Let me find my
Hey, it's
notes.
a Saturday night. Our language and everything is appropriate.
Ah. Jesus. All right. All right. Here are my notes. So the idea was location wise, if we can find an encampment, a tent
Mhm.
encampment close by of or yeah, like an arm's length would be great for visuals near a construction site or a luxury apartment building would be great. And then the words that would be spoken would be, did you know? Um, did you know the amount of homeless in DC? Did you know annual budget is 3% towards housing? Um, and then what were we talking about? Um, the imagery for the budget. I did a printout of the Wilson building so people know and understand what's going on at the Wilson building. And then we would pan towards the luxury apartments and talk about how, I guess, like show like a juxtaposition between how things were bad at before the
Mhm.
pandemic and how it is now during the pandemic. And then um,
Mm.
the link to vacant to virus, vacant, was that it? Vacant to virus.
Yeah, vacant to virus reduction plan. So it would be something that talk. I guess you would link to the website. So that would be, the v2vr.info, and just that little, juxtapose with the encampment. Excuse me, and luxury development. I got two tentative sites you could take a look at. One is definitely Noma, because Union Place is one of them high, high buildings that personally got, maybe a PUD or some agreement from the city to build. And then you got like 50 people living right there. Like you could literally have, that same juxtapose on one side of the street. Like you could actually stand on, what's that? You can actually stand on L Street and you would capture a tent in that building in one shot. Or you could come down L Street, capture a few more tents, kind of like as a lead time, and then you still would be
Hey,
able to stop somewhere
Reggie,
in the underpass and had a tent like right there with the overpass. And then the other one I think would be very great is the one down Virginia Avenue, because they got, the Whole Foods, and I think Bezos owns that building. Like they have transformed the old Washington Post
Reggie,
building into a big luxury box. Yeah, I hear you.
Reggie, Reggie. This is what I want to say to you. I'm glad you brought that up because this is something me and Lighting are talking about. The fact that we need some places where we might grab some imagery, where we can get some cranes in the background, or somewhere we can capture the clash between what's home population and structure.
Hmm.
So that was one of the things we think about. And then that's why Noma came
Yeah,
up because I was like, right over in that area, it is a lot of cranes. So that's
but
a
if
very
you
valid
wanted the
point.
crane, you wanted
I
the
mean, what do you
crane
think?
and an encampment. If for the crane and the encampment, you could do M Street. But thing
Actually,
is,
I'm feeling more inspired, and it would take more work. But I not saying Noma's overplayed, but I do feel like it's a little overplayed. Can we try to hit several locations? So, because it is happening throughout the city, but I'm really feeling let's let's like explore other parts because I've seen a lot of tents in a lot of different other locations. So I'm beginning to think,
Right, right.
yeah,
mm,
let's hit other parts
No,
of this.
no, because no, Noma is like a focal point.
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, but it's like I feel like the news always talks about it. Everyone knows that encampment. I'm like, we know the city really well. So
hmm,
I'm not saying let's not do it there, but I'm saying let's also do some other locations. That will
yeah,
broaden people's
we
eyes. Because
we
So
I'm
really
I'm
could.
really more appealed to the waterfront.
I
Because
would like to do the
Well,
everybody likes
encampment
the
off New Jersey Avenue
waterfront.
that's over there by my church.
yeah, you know what? I think that's why I was saying, another area you could do would be the Virginia Avenue Southeast, because, like I said, the encampment is like right up on Second and Virginia Avenue, and like there's a way you can show the dog park, Bezos' new Whole Foods, and this young lady who basically has an entire house like lining the street. That's if she's down with it. But
Where's
yeah.
that?
Um,
Give me a metro
then it
station.
right off of the Navy Yard station. Navy, more so Capital South though, but right off of the Navy
Oh,
Yard
okay.
station.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
at the
yeah.
six at the
Okay.
695 overpass, and that one would sort of achieve that too, but it'll be a tougher shot because the lady is under the overpass. Then it's like a little retaining wall or whatever, and it leads into like a park, and they have like the bio retention stuff, and then there's a dog park, but right across the street is Bezos and them new Whole Foods. So you could
Hey,
have, you know like you could probably take your wide of the building for the B-roll piece. You could probably take your wide of the building from Virginia Avenue, and then you probably would come under the underpass and kind of reset and continue the pan to be able to get that ladies encampment. Because it's like two or three people right there, and one lady literally basically has the makings of a whole house going from where the underpass starts on Second Street all the way down to where the dog park is. But there's a spot right there where they have the where they had a basketball court and the and the little small skate park in that underpass where you can see all of that. You can see the dog park, you can see her, and you would see the Whole Foods kind of through that little small sort of like grating right there of the retaining wall.
Okay. Okay, thanks. All right. So that sounds like a good location, and I'm trying to think of what else, what other parts of the city.
That would be set up like that,
I
possibly
yeah, because
Or
Alabama
just
I'm
over
I'm
there by
Avenue.
New Jersey
thinking
Avenue over there by my
I'm
church.
thinking H Street. H Street has a whole lot going on.
Yeah, but I don't
Um,
know. But far as having a tent in the scene, that would be a harder
well,
thing to get.
okay, so then let's explore that too. So I don't want to say that. Okay, so all right, all right. So I'm trying to figure this
But
out.
but I could
Listen,
take a
listen.
look around to see if there in fact is anybody with a tent on 8th Street. You know what I'm saying? There may be. I don't know. I
Why
haven't been
won't
down in that
why
corridor.
All right, so to be clear, the
can we
vacant
review
to
my
virus
suggestion?
is the vacant to virus strictly homeless people.
Yes.
Yes.
But we
All
have a
right.
little emphasis on those who are incarcerated, but they all to us count
How
as
do we say how
people
can we
who
say
are
vacant
homeless.
the virus trying to house people already housed, Lord?
Well, I
You
want you
can't
to
do
also
that.
keep
We're
in
trying to put
mind.
people
I
in.
want you to keep in mind, though, there are a lot of people that are homeless that aren't necessarily in tents. Like I've been out in the city and people are just like on benches half the time. They're not necessarily like homeless looks different in a lot of different
Yeah,
ways, right?
but
People
Yeah,
are experiencing housing
yeah, but
insecurity
we're
in a
not
lot of
defining
different
it by
ways.
tent cities.
So
Lord, you're exactly right. And by neighborhood and ward, homelessness looks very different. Like homelessness in
so
Ward 8 looks very different than homelessness
But
in
the
Ward
point I'm
6.
saying, we're
Homelessness
not
in Ward 6
we're
looks very different than Ward 3. She's exactly right.
I remember, yeah, I'm just letting you know, like I was wheat
listen.
pasting
You
throughout the
guys
city, and I
make
remember
it
this
real
guy was
bad as a host.
begging. He
Did
was
you guys know
begging
that?
to do this work with me because he was homeless and he didn't have any money, and he was like, look, let me do
Listen,
this so I can get some money. So I'm just saying, homelessness isn't necessarily in a tent, and we always see people like just sleeping in sleeping bags or whatever, or people, are wandering around because they have nothing
Hmm.
else to
Lord,
do, right? So
Lord,
We could have a shot that looks that way, and
Lord,
I think 8th Street would be a good place to get it.
Lord,
We probably it
yes,
probably
Lord.
oh,
Can
I'm
I
not
can I
talking.
can I host
What?
this equation? There
Sure.
and again, this is 24/8 radio. I'm going to be the cue to the conversation. So what I'm trying to say is at this point, the reason we're saying tent cities is because those are empty. That means that's a concentration of homelessness. A concentration of homelessness has a different imagery than an individual homeless person. Everybody that's homeless will be impacted by this plan. It's vacant to virus because we're in a pandemic. So our whole premise is saying let's pitch this plan to get everybody off of the street. That's why we're not
hmm
focusing on particular people. We're saying let's break up these encampments. Because if we break up these encampments, we'll take care of particular people. That's
All right,
all I
yeah,
wanted to say.
I'm
And
fine.
there again,
I'm
I'm
fine.
yeah,
trying to be the best
and
host I can be. This is a
I just
meeting,
wanted
so
us
nobody
to
has done anything
explore
wrong. We're
more
not
than
asking for a
Noma.
show.
Just saying, let's explore more than Noma, okay? Because everyone's talked
Right.
about
But
Noma and like our
yeah.
encampments,
well, right. So what
other places. There's
And I
other
like that
shelters. Why don't can we
okay.
hit up the
So
shelter? Can we hit up the
that
shelter or
that
no?
that could also be a
well
place where we could get some footage,
well
or we could have different looks to we could have more than one commercial type thing where it isn't just us that are promoting the vacant virus plan per se. We can still have in the did you know piece, a person that may have some information at a shelter or living outside with an answer to or a premise for the did you know. right? And I think that can
Well,
include
yeah,
people
but
in shelters.
yeah. So
But we would actually focus on a person doing
so
that.
here's the thing. This is a rough template. We can build from whatever that we want to do at this point, and let's pick 5 locations. Let's get 5 did you knows, and let's make that the initial conversation. That's all I'm
Yeah,
asking.
so I think the first did you know, well, the first two would be one, did you know how much money is in the DC the District of Columbia's annual budget, the whole thing, which would be that 14 point whatever
I agree
they're saying, I
100%.
think three. And then the second one would be, did you know of that? I got to get the math on that, but of that, 3% of it equates to, 3% of that $14 billion budget is what we spend on housing. Then, tentatively, a third one would be, did you know our 3% expenditure on housing in the district is more than every other city and state in the nation? Then you could have, I would go to 10 did you knows because then we had to get into y'all's. But the fourth one would be, did you know DC still has the highest rate per capita of homelessness in the nation? You see what I'm
Okay.
saying? We could do
Okay, so
more than one
with
did
that
you
being
know.
said, that all sounds great. We can do 10, Reggie, but what we got to do first and foremost is make sure it stays within a minute, because that's the amount of
hmm
time that Instagram snippets run. So I'm with
My,
doing however many we
my
can
thing,
within a minute.
I guess the method behind my madness is that the commercials would be under a minute and they would only have one of those did you knows in it.
Oh, you would
Well,
rather shoot it like that?
then
Because
it's
we can
too
shoot it like that.
short.
That's a way to shoot.
That's too short. But if we're doing several locations, then we could just break up all the did
If
you
we
know?
do multiple though, if we do multiple,
Yeah,
Yeah,
if
that's
we
what I'm
do
that's what I
saying.
was
multiple, we
thinking
do
too.
10 of them, then it's not too short. We're 10.
And the subsequent footage of showing that situation pre and post pandemic, right, would go to the did you know. So like you had the did you know to kind of like hook them in and then show, this is the current situation. And we want to help people who are unhoused and have those different looks of people who are unhoused, social distance and to secure, because that would go into a whole nother did you know later, but it would be, you know, there are 10,000 vacant units we want to secure through this vacant to virus reduction plan. Please, whatever, at v2vr.info. I don't know. I'm just throwing stuff out there that I thought about when I was reading what you sent me before, Robert.
No, I agree. I agree. Let go. Let go. Let go. Let go. I agree, Reggie. I like that. What you think, Mark?
Yeah, these are all good. These are all good. So what am I looking
So
at?
how do y'all want to do? Y'all want to
What?
shoot like one
Somebody,
one
I guess
segment with
Harvey up
like
there
3 or 4
playing
in
Mad.
it, or do y'all want to do one at a time?
Oh my gosh.
I think
All I'm
I think we
asking,
can do.
Reggie, is to
What are
get
you
out
talking
your
about,
Go ahead, ask me. Go ahead, ask me,
Reggie?
cause like you and I understand the same language, cause we're both essentially filmmakers, so we understand what we're talking about. You know what I'm saying? We've done stuff and have stuff out there based on our own cinematography, our own editing, and our own
Yeah,
directorship.
I
We
keep on getting cut off. So I'm saying, Reggie, could you write down all your did you knows? So then you're ready to say your did you knows. So write them down, and
Yeah.
then
Right. That's what I'm saying.
let's
I agree with that, Reggie. That was the next
yeah.
relevant point.
Would it
All
would
right.
it be okay? So does everybody have access to that one slide you sent me, Rob? Because I can just do a slide just saying possible did you knows, and then we can, as we go along, we can pick because my whole thing is that we can do commercials periodically, whatever interval we decide, and like that whole did you know thing, in terms of addressing the unhoused. and vacant the virus, there are so many ones we can add after our initial did you know. There are so many to go and connect back into the vacant the virus reduction plan. So if I could put a
Right. Well, this
slide
is all
in
about
there,
getting just basic templates together, though. So I agree.
that way we have all that stuff in one place. And then I think, for the purposes of being on here, woman and I could, you know, try to tease out what would be the storyboard for each,
That's
and then we
cool, Reggie.
kind
I
of
like that, man.
yeah, and then we could kind of tag team cinematography efforts on that, because like I said, we're already going to 4 different places, and I think I could help out try to get some of the stuff from Virginia Avenue, and then if there are any
Is there
other
any
areas.
tent locations that you've seen on Florida?
Yeah, I've seen. Yeah, so matter of fact, one of them just comes to mind, which would be Starburst Plaza, because the Deltas got a permanent supportive housing building going up right there next to Starburst Plaza, and a lot of unhoused people be out there. So if we had a wide with that and that building and how they're building it right now, that would satisfy one of our crane shots. There's more of them I know about personally, because I have access to the Department of Housing and Community Development's permanent supportive housing pipeline. And they have buildings
Okay.
going up all the time in every ward of the city. And theoretically, most of these places have some instance of housing instability near them. Thinking about New Jersey Avenue right there where the Walmart is. Literally, that's a site based permanent supportive housing spot for women. And there's a
Okay.
tent right there under the
Okay.
building right now.
Okay. Quick other thing
Hey,
I
you
wanted
just
to
made a very
address.
good point, Reggie. Hey, wait a minute, Lark.
Going
I
in
would
and
say we
out.
should do that too. We got to do a demographic of it. So where
You're
there's like
going in and
women,
out,
we got to have
Harvey.
a woman, we got to have women, we got to have older people, huh?
Hmm.
Okay. I'm
What?
trying to pick up everything you're saying, but you're going in and out. Okay, so Harvey, one other quick thing. So besides Instagram, are we also recording or trying to commercialize? I mean, not commercial, whatever this is. Um, on Facebook and some other social media stuff, Twitter. What other platforms are you considering
Correct.
doing?
Okay, so this is the idea, Lark. The idea, when I say commercial, that means for us three bodies to come together and create some creative footage that we then can use to distribute on. However fast we want to do that. I'm referencing 1 minute because I understand that the way I access and use my Instagram account, those are things that I can post and
Yeah.
it can run steady and it won't have to be no long innuendo or anything. And so that's what I'm primarily on. But we can shoot
Okay.
stuff for Facebook and other slots, and but I don't be on those things, so I can't reference.
Gotcha. No problem. I gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
I just
I had I
we
had
were
thought
considering other
Okay.
platforms.
Yeah, I had thought of that as well, but I didn't know was that the premise of the idea before I even brought that up, because I got, like I was saying, if it's if you want me to, what I'm saying, help out with some of the advanced stuff, we definitely can have you know a consolidation and coordination on those. But I wanted to kind of hear from the both of you, kind of like what you're thinking, and like how he just said that just now, it's got me thinking a whole nother slide about how some of the Facebook stuff could look. And then and then like we can even combine some of that stuff with like using some of the live apparatuses through Twitter and Facebook, where what I'm saying, where we could just have like
Well,
we could
actually,
just
I was
have
thinking,
it
I'm
posted, but
not
then
saying I'm jaded by Facebook Live, but I rather, if there's a budget, just pay for a Facebook ad. I think that'll have better reach than because with live you're only reaching people
How
that
much?
you know.
How much is that? How much is that? Because
The whole point of this ad,
how much
this
is that? Because
campaign,
it
I
might be a budget for
presume,
much.
is to reach people that you don't know. It really depends on how
Yeah,
much money is a range, and then how much how long you want it to
that's a good idea.
last. But we're aiming for people that have not been engaged. So live would be people you already know. So we want to hit people
Well,
that don't know.
That's a good
what,
idea, though.
Lord,
I hadn't
what
thought
I'm
of something
asking
like
is,
that.
what's the pricing of that?
It
Okay,
could be like
listen, y'all
$20.
politic
It could
amongst
be
one
like
another. I gotta take a breath.
$10. It could be more money. It depends on how long you want the ad to take play. Like a month. If you're paying for a month, it's gonna cost more. If you're paying for a week, it's gonna be less. I mean that's the little bit I know about Facebook ads, but it's usually depending on like
Hmm.
what
Maybe
type of
that's a
outreach.
maybe that's a starting point. Maybe we see if we can do, small little weekly increments of them. And then we could also use the ads to sort of like fundraise for more of them, and we could have something set up in there in the description in there. If you want to see more of these, give to XYZ.
I mean,
I don't
sure.
know.
No. Harvey left,
But I think
so
but I think if we were to take, what I'm saying,
No,
maybe
Harvey did not leave.
like
Harvey took a
six,
bathroom
like
break.
if the
I
three
told you I took a
like if the
bathroom
three
break.
of us could put up like if the three of us could put up $6 a week, that would cover the weekly thing if it's only $10, with about $3-4 to roll over into the next week.
I'm just
So that if
guessing.
anybody's short, we
I
cover.
don't know. I just put numbers out there. It was just really for like a singular ad.
Oh,
I mean, it was like for an image. I don't know how much a video is. So
Yeah, but still, even
I
if
don't
we start with,
okay.
I know, but even
So
if we start with just the image, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like
listen,
we can we
let me
can
jump back
adjust
out here
as we
again. Let
go
me jump
along.
back out here right now. I'm like Harvey. I need to check that.
Mhm.
But I like what I'm
Well,
hearing.
this
Like,
is what I
man, we
wanted
can
to
get
say.
real
Right now,
innovative.
what I've invited you all to do is create some commercial content. Yeah, for vacant the virus, but initially we got to create the initial content. That's all that I'm
Yeah.
saying. So it doesn't have to be strictly for Instagram, but that's the platform that
Hmm.
I'm on. So that's the platform that I'm familiar with. But what we're supposed to be doing is coming together, just a narrative to start our campaign.
Hmm.
Taking the
And I
virus,
think we can. I
housing
think we
people,
can
getting
do
people
that.
off the street before the virus is gone.
Yeah. And I think
However, we
starting
want to
off
go
with
about
them.
doing it. Everything that I had
And I
said
think,
was a rough template.
yeah. And I think
But
what
that
we
means like
and
if y'all, because what I wanted to say next is
I want to
we
start
should
shooting
go to the
stuff next
shelters.
weekend.
I'm saying that now. As in the conversation we're on, we should go to the shelters because we have women's shelters, we have single shelters, a different
Hmm.
perspective from each different dynamic, a demographic.
We got family
Go to the
shelters in
shelter.
almost every ward. We got people that's shacked up in cars in
Yeah,
different places. If they give us permission to film them and talk
yeah.
to them for about 30 seconds about their situation, that's just gonna make. And that's what I was saying. Like we can start off with a few little ideas we have, and then going forward as we encounter people, we can make those connections to shoot stuff later. Like we do this all the time through our film apparatus and street sense. We do that all the time. So like we're always connected with people that we may want to shoot something different with. And we keep up with them, have their contact
No, hold
information, do
on,
little
Reggie.
small little stuff.
Reggie. When we first started talking, this was had jumped because I always stayed running was the fact that I can see it grew to first start out, did you know? So it's informing the people of things they might not know about, but then it gradually to where we tell people like we interview homeless people and they be like, I'm like this age, I'm so and so, and I'm homeless in Washington D.C. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah,
then that'll show
because
you
I
the breadth of how many people are being affected. So that's what
right.
my mind had went to.
Right, and that's where my mind was at too. But it was more advanced to this. We get through, the facts that we may want to cover, we may want to cut it off at some point with just the general facts to people. But then it would go into, did you know so and so? And you'd have like 30 seconds to a minute to let
Right.
people, you did, like, the whole idea behind that is they don't know this person. And just because they're unhoused, it doesn't make them less of a person. And the did you know so and so gets into an actual individual, back to what we were saying with the implementation of vacant the virus, making it human and personable so that the people that were already hooked on the did you know facts get to start meeting people and say, damn, did you know vacant the virus can support him? Did you know vacant the virus could support them? Did you know vacant the virus could
Right,
support
right, right,
her?
right, right. Hey, no, but that this is what I'm thinking about now too, Reggie, is the fact that remember when we were talking about what I said you had made me think about was the fact that a lot of people you can have a job and be fully employed and still be home.
Hmm. Yeah, a lot of that could be one of the facts. Did you know that having a job doesn't get you out of homelessness? Not in D.C. Did you know that the AMI, the
Right,
District of Columbia,
right,
for family poor is
right,
such and
right,
such? Did you know Montgomery County is counted?
right,
Their AMI is such and such, and that counts towards the district. That's why I said that. Did you know can get more and more and more and more, and we can start varying up how those different did you knows look. That's all I was saying. Like, I think we should start off with the initial ideas.
okay,
Then I can just float some of the ones that we was talking about just now into that same document, and start working from like maybe that 5 or 10, right? And then we would just run one of our
right,
fully created ones per whatever periodical we wanted to do, right? And so, Locke threw out there the
okay.
idea of
I
doing a
agree.
full
I agree.
Facebook ad. So while we're doing that right
Right,
now, like while we're working on the template and really getting it solid, we can look into what does it cost and what type of stuff we can put out. And if we already have something that we can use, you know what I'm saying? We could work on that,
right.
put that out,
Well, listen.
you know what I'm saying, and use it so that then we can cycle back more funds to get our more invasive content out there. Because, like, my thing is, the more stuff that we're able to kind of have at the ready will make it better. Because, like, where the virus reduction plan is at now is that groups are asking what can they do. People is ready for it. Like there's the
Right. Yeah,
National
that's where
Law
we at
Center.
now.
They literally is begging me, begging me, begging me. We
Right.
love vacant the virus. What do you want us to do? What do you want us to do? So I'm like, ho. You ain't about to just jump in here gung ho. You're gonna get a task from our team. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
Right.
we
Okay.
are innovative in that way and working with all of these different groups. And now this thing that we're starting right now, that's going to make individuals start being that way. Because the facts and stuff, like
Well,
what
look,
you sent me in
let's
the
do the
slideshow,
let's schedule a time to get together next week.
just
Let's
them
schedule a
two,
time.
like,
Mark went mute.
man, just them two. You got,
Let's
if
schedule
we
a
do
time. What day?
real solid content, them first two gonna catch a lot of people. It'll be like, damn, what?
Right.
Heck
What day
yeah,
though? Let's schedule a time, Reggie. Let's schedule a
I got
time. Let's go ahead. Cause look, we're 33 minutes in now. I asked you guys for
yeah.
15 minutes.
So
So you
so I
guys
was
gave me
saying
20 more minutes. And so all great. But let's get the scheduling
that's
now.
because
Let's schedule a time. What the next
that's
week can we get
because
together and start?
That's because I'm loving this conversation. But I think, well, for me, I know I got Wednesdays, probably more so the afternoons. Wednesday afternoon would be a good one for me. Um,
Okay.
Kind of like Thursday after our
Wednesday afternoon.
calls. Yeah, but it had to on Thursday. It would have to be before 3, and we could just do after our call or
Okay.
before 3. Um, and then the tougher day would be Friday. Then after that, after next week in this hearing, then we would get Tuesdays. Like I'd have Tuesdays from like 1 to from
Now you know
like
I got a little
well,
bother. Crab.
I'd have at least 2 Tuesdays. I'd have at least 2 Tuesdays a month I could do from 1 to 4, or and then one Tuesday I could only do 1 to 2. But
Now
yeah,
look, we just want to get
Wednesdays
up
are
and going
good,
right now. So Lord,
Thursdays are
what
good.
they gonna be good for you next week?
Say that
Lord,
again.
what day gonna be good for you next week? What day is gonna be good for you next week? What day?
I think I could do Monday afternoon. I know Reggie said Tuesday isn't good, but Tuesdays I'm usually free. Wednesday's okay. Thursday I'm free, and Friday I'm free.
Wednesday. Let's Wednesday. We're going with Wednesday. Wednesday is the day we're
Okay.
gonna go with. Reggie said Wednesday would be good for him.
Mhm.
Okay. This is what you, since you have a better understanding of the did you knows and the fact, type up the facts, and then I'm gonna once you type up the facts, I'm gonna work on the locations, the backdrops I see to it. Lark is the director. I'm producing and creating, and you the star and information, okay? And then
I'm a,
we all mingle in what we live in, what we know. Okay?
oh snap! I gotta be the
That's the game
star
plan. I told
again.
Lark the other day. Lark is the director, you are producing and creating. So you come
All
up
right.
with the get you know, and I'm gonna think of the backdrops to go with them. And then Lark, and
I, I
I bring a camera too. And then Lark bring what she
I
got,
got
and we
my
go from there.
I
Okay?
got my iPad Pro. That thing shoots good. I've got Filmic on it. I've got LumaFusion on it. So if she wants me to help her edit, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, I told her before, I can help you edit if you want me to, because I got the LumaFusion on there. It's just on there. I've been just playing with it, working on our Beats webisodes jumps.
Right,
So I got that
right.
capability to edit.
Hey, listen. Because I'm wearing the producer hat, right? It's gonna be a $10 stipend to come along with this, okay? So I look forward to seeing y'all Wednesday, man. We'll get up Wednesday, all right?
Yeah, we just need
Mark,
a
are you
gathering
still there?
location. We can,
Yeah, Wednesday. That sounds
we just
cool.
need it. We just need a
At
location. I
Red.
think we can. Which one? Good Hope or 7th Street?
Well, which encounter gonna go to first?
Because I'm closer to 7th Street, but I can get out to Good
Who's
Hope if you
going
need me
first?
to.
Where? Where?
I was saying Good Hope Road or 7th Street.
Where we going first, Red? Okay, Good Hope Road. Okay, then. So let's meet at Red Southeast at the new building. Because I haven't been there yet. So I need a reason to go in there because they don't want to give me one.
I was just saying what was easier for y'all. That's
So
why I
let's
was
meet at
asking.
Southeast Bread Wednesday. What time? Yeah, what time? No, that's fine because I need to go to Southeast. I ain't been to Southeast in a long while. What time?
I'd have to. I'd have to travel. So maybe like 2. Is 2 good?
2 o'clock. Okay. Lark, is 2 o'clock okay with you on Wednesday?
2 works for me.
Okay, that's a bet.
Okay, then let's get
That's a
off the
bet.
phone because we're starting to chop up. I'm not off the screen. We're starting to
So
chop up. I appreciate this, y'all. I will talk to you
if
all later. Any
yeah,
last
if y'all
statements or any comments?
just send me the notes y'all got so I can kind of wrap my head around what your thoughts are, and then if you can make them editable, you know what I'm saying, I can share a few things that I may have in my head. I don't know. I haven't seen them, but I'd love to see some of the other thoughts you
Okay,
guys
now
have.
the game plan. Let's do that. Start.
Yeah?
Right. Start. This is gonna be the game plan. You send him your
And I'll
notes, and then I'm gonna send him what I got from the notes I took
Okay.
to make everything editable so that everybody can edit. All right.
yeah,
Okay.
because I'm gonna definitely start adding some of those did you knows to the one you
This
already
is
got,
24/8
and then when
radio
I
show.
read through those, I got you.
Right.
All right. Sounds like a plan.
It's like a
Okay, bet.
plan. I'm ready.
10-4. 24/8. Over and out.
All right. I gotta take care of some stuff here.